Hello everyone from the IELTS teacher. Today we're going to do something different. We're not talking about IELTS, but we're looking at writing a CV. A lot of people who want to take the IELTS exam do so because they want to apply to a university in the UK or in the States or in Canada. So the universities very often will ask you for a CV. In particular today, we're going to look at what kind of CV is better for you. There is not only one type of CV, there are more styles. We're looking at two styles in particular, the chronological CV and a skill-based CV. We're looking at some mistakes that you should avoid. We're looking at a method called STAR that can help you write a good CV, how to target your CV, and powerful sentences in English that you could try to use. Now, the talk is quite long, so I'm going to divide it into shorter videos. You can watch my episodes in the playlist. First of all, I have a question for you, and the question is, how many CVs do you have? Do you have one CV that you use for every job or every university? Do you have two CVs, or do you have more than two? Well, there isn't a right or a wrong answer. Obviously, it depends on what you're looking for and what you need. But the simple answer for me is you should have one CV for every job that you apply for or every university. Because looking for somebody slightly different. We'll look at how to target it in a minute. But what's important before you think about how many CVs you have is to think about what kind of CV would be more suitable for you. So today I'm going to talk about two CVs in particular, the chronological CV, which is something that you could use if you have relevant experience in the job that you're applying for, and skill-based CV, which is a CV that focuses more on your skills, on your transferable skills. That is a big word nowadays. So let's have a look more in detail at the chronological CV. So the chronological CV, as I said, you can use it if you have experience in the same line of work and you want to progress in your career. You can use bullet points, giving evidence of the skills you have applied in your previous jobs that will be used in the job that you're applying for as well. And very important though when you write a chronological CV. So what it means chronological is that you write all your job experiences in chronological order. Chronological means in order of time. You usually start from the oldest, the least recent experience until the most recent experience. But what's important is that you don't just write a list of experiences. So this is an example of a chronological CV that I received from one of my students. I gave her feedback and immediately I could just see that this wasn't an effective way of writing it. Why? You're just giving me a list of jobs. It shows discontinuity, that the jobs are very different, assistant, waitress and saleswoman. So if I see this in a chronological CV, I don't understand what kind of skills this person has because it's only a list of jobs, and I don't understand what kind of job she's looking for because all these jobs are so different. Does she want to be a waitress? Does she want to be a saleswoman? Or does she want to be a restorer? So it shows discontinuity. It doesn't tell me what tasks this person was performing at work. So I don't know what actually she was doing as a waitress. There are a lot of things that waitresses and waiters do, and it is not relevant for any particular job. So let's look at actually what you should do when you write a chronological CV. It's very important to back up your experience with facts. So don't just talk about the jobs you've had, talk about facts. Say what you did exactly. For example, this is a CV from one of my colleagues. It's a chronological CV, you can see, 2014, July 2014 to December 2014. The job was always EFL teacher, so English as a foreign language teacher. And so this shows continuity. But what I really like is that she's used bullet points to talk about her details, the experience, the actual jobs that she was doing while she was teaching. So what kind of teaching? There's lots of things that you can do as a teacher, like as a waiter or as a businessman. So it's important that you talk exactly about what you were doing. Here I can see that she was working at a school in Japan, that she was teaching adults, that she was teaching beginners and intermediate students, and that she was preparing students for exams. So also it gives me something really concrete that I can trust that this person actually did this job and did it well. As you can see, she's done the same for every other job. So an example of a layout, so how can you present a chronological CV, is this. You can start with your name, your address, and your contact details. Now in England, in the UK, and in other countries in Europe, you should never write your marital status, whether you're married or single. You shouldn't write your nationality, and you shouldn't write your age, for example. We have a law that gives equal opportunities to everybody. So it doesn't matter how old you are, what nationality you are, you should be given the same opportunities to apply for jobs and to get jobs as everybody else. So you really don't need to write that. You also don't need to put a photo. We just do not do that because of equal opportunities as well. One example, this is an example of a layout. You could start with a profile. In the profile, you don't really talk about all your experiences, but you draw attention to your experience and your personality. I'm going to read this to you because it's quite a nice profile. An organized, self-reliant and motivated PA with 8 years experience communicates confidently and effectively at all levels and uses initiative to achieve the highest standards, striving to go the extra mile when working towards a set goal, seeking new challenges and additional responsibility to progress career. So this is a kind of a good profile for a chronological CV that focuses on the experience as a secretary. Now, the chronological CV focuses on your experiences, so sometime on your experience in the field. In this case, she's applying for a PA job or something like that, secretarial job. So sometimes it's difficult to draw attention to other achievements that you achieved outside work. So to solve this problem, you could add an achievements section here. So you can create an achievement section with work or non-work related achievements. For example, here, promoted to the role of assistant to the general manager, blah, blah, blah. Completed the Young Volunteer UK Adult Leadership Scheme. So it's nice to show that you also do volunteer job. Completed the Cambridge Marathon, raising £15,000 for charity. So this is not work related, but I think it shows a lot of things about the person who's applying for the job. Sorry about that. After the achievement section, you can put your experience. Now, in this case, you can see the experience was always as a secretary, so it shows continuity. And you can write bullet points to give evidence of your individual responsibilities. So don't just write worked as a secretary, because the role of secretary can mean a lot of different things. Maybe it means that you made coffee for the boss, or it might mean that you were making photocopies and answering the phone, or it might mean, keeping accurate medical records of patients' correspondence, arranging meetings, managing diary, dealing with appointment requests. So it's important that you think exactly what kind of jobs and split down the job into different tasks, and you talk about these tasks. It makes your role much more clearer to the person who's reading your CV. So to sum up, a chronological CV summary. Use it if you want to highlight career progression. So if you've had several similar jobs and you just want to get more responsibility in the same type of job. Split down past positions into smaller tasks to show exactly what you were doing in that job. Use bullet points to explain day-to-day tasks, and include an achievement section if you want to highlight activities that you did outside work. So this is the end of the video about chronological CV. I will be posting very shortly a short video about skill-based CV. So I'll see you later.